Sylvester is made up of an incredibly diverse population, and that hasn't always been the case. In the past, it was pretty much an all-white school, and it's only really been within the last 10 years that it's become an urban school. Many of our students coming in who don't speak English as their first language, many of them come from families that have actually been involved in gangs. So we've got a real rough group of kids that come to us. We've got kids that don't see themselves as living past high school. What do you do with the reluctant learner? What do you do with the resistant learner? The kid that puts his head down and just says, I don't care, you can tell me whatever you want, but I'm not going to do it.
We have a lot of staff that don't necessarily live within our service area, and we have a lot of low-income kids, and we have a lot of high-risk kids.
But it's our desire to reach every single kid. In order to do that, we need to understand who they are, where they come from, what their cultures are, and then how do we meet them rather than expecting them to just respond to an archaic system. The leadership team put together an afternoon of activities that would enable the staff to be able to identify what areas they were most concerned with within our school.
So collaboratively, we had to have those discussions, and it came down to who are our kids and how do we best serve our kids.
Knowing that we have students of different cultures that we're having behavior issues with, that our response should not always be the same, and knowing how we can address students of different cultures, just knowing a little bit about their background.
Because we can't teach our students if we don't know them well. And then things like, what do I do with the resistant learner came out. I need cultural competency support so that I can know how to teach our kids who are coming to us from different backgrounds. And then off of that was, how do we support them academically? So do we need more ELL strategy training? Do we need differentiation strategy training? And then how do we support them behaviorally? Our leadership teams have been huge in transforming the instruction, as well as having teachers feel empowered to make decisions and to want to learn how to support our kids.
One of the biggest things was to break down the barriers between the administration team and the staff.
And so that school improvement leadership team that I have is fundamental to guiding me.
And the beauty of having these meetings through the department is that there are next steps and there are checks. How'd you do? And how did it work in your classroom? What worked, what didn't? And if there weren't, well, we'd all go our different directions and truly nothing would change. It just couldn't. But we're pushed to change because we know we're accountable. We have to come back and talk about how it went.
Even though she only scored a 350 in the reading, she scored a 410 in the writing, and she has an IP in writing.
Right.
So they're very, very capable, so it's about not looking at them as a group, but looking at them as students.
People get together, they share ideas, they talk about things that, new strategies, things that they want to do with kids, and they go back into the classroom and they do it the very next day.
And then kids are buying in more because they see it's a reflection of what they want and what they need as individuals.
And teachers are more likely to buy in, just like anybody, if their voice is heard.
Exactly.
When your voice is heard and you're part of the decision-making process,
You're validated.
you're validated and you put energy in it, and it's not just another thing.
To put on your plate.
It is something that you want because you asked for it, and now you're working toward it.
It is all about building leadership capacity. Working together, observing each other, critiquing each other's lessons, planning together. Those are all things that spread the ability to provide quality instruction in the classroom.
Can you prove that? Yes! Should we do an experiment? Yes!